Hello everybody, this is Sade's Tarot Tea. So today I am doing a video on Geminis. And I'm excited to do this video because there's a lot of cool Geminis, and I just find Geminis very interesting. I found them very interesting. And so let's go ahead and get started and talk about celebrity Gemini. I have Marilyn Monroe, of course, we have to acknowledge Marilyn Monroe, Tupac. Is a Gemini. I have, let's see who else. Angelina Jolie is a Gemini. Kanye West, we have to say him. uh, so what can I say about Geminis? Geminis are one of the most creative people that I have ever met before. I can think of a few other Geminis, celebrity Geminis. Gemini artists or actors have a hand in everything that they do. They're very good at everything that they do. They're very hard on themselves when they're not really good at something. Geminis are typically those people that are good. I keep saying this, but they're good at what they do. Like, they will perfect a craft to its umpth degree, and they will outshine anybody. And I just admire this so much. I feel like Geminis have so much charisma, no matter, I'm not just talking about celebrities, I'm talking about just us as people. Geminis that I've met, they're so interesting. Like, they always have like an interesting haircut, they always have something interesting going on, whether that's the way they talk, whether that's how sociable they are, whether that's how, flighty they can be at times. It's cute. Like, and I don't mean flighty in like a dumb way. Like, they're just like flighty in the sense like they get bored easily. So you have to constantly like entertain the Gemini. And the Gemini is someone that they constantly need mental stimulation. And if they don't have that, they just get bored of you. They're just like, what else is there in your head? And although I say this in the sweetest way, they can be flighty, and like I said, not in a dumb way. They can just be flighty in a sense where they can't, it's hard to hold their attention. It's hard to hold their attention because they're mental, and they always have something going on in their head, and they always have something going on around them, and they're constantly needing to be around excitement and I wouldn't say so much chaos, but like excitement. They need to keep their mind active and stimulated, because if it's not, then they get bored. And you don't want a Gemini to get bored with you because they will detach. They will detach from you, and they will not look back if they don't care about you. Typically, Geminis are people that don't take the people in their lives lightly. They really care about everybody in their life. They do have that split personality where if they feel like being one way that day, they'll be that person. And if they feel like being this way that day, they'll be that person. And they fucking own that. And I admire that. I can't keep up, but I admire it. And I think that it's admirable that they're those types of people to me that will take on a character and they'll play it to the best of their ability. And I mean, it makes me think of Angelina Jolie when she was in Girl Interrupted. Like, she really got into that role. She really became she really became Lisa. And I fucking love that movie. But Geminis want to be the best. They want to be the best at whatever they do. They kind of remind me of Virgos in this way, like, especially if it's something that they're super passionate in. And they're the type of people that care about world justice. They care about what's going on in our country. They care about third world countries. They are constantly stimulating their mind, whether your moon is in Gemini, whether your rising is in Gemini, whatever placement you have in Gemini, especially in Mercury. Like, they need to constantly be stimulating their mind, because if you're not stimulating their mind, you're boring them. And also, I've noticed that Geminis are very smart. Like, they always know something. I like to talk about how they have a library. They have a library, and they go into that library in their mind. They pull that book out, and they're like, oh, today I want to educate someone on this, And when they're talking to you, they love engagement. They love you being interested in what they're talking about, because they speak with so much passion and conviction when they speak, when they decide to speak. I typically don't always find that Geminis are very social. I've heard that Geminis are very social, but the Geminis I've met have been, and Moon and Geminis, or Mercury and Gemini, whatever placement, I've met these people that are they're very quiet. They're like, you don't really see them there. They kind of like blend into the background because they like to observe. Like I kind of was saying about Taurus, like they like to observe. They like to look and like see what everyone's talking about. And they don't want to always be in the forefront. But there are Geminis that are very social and in your face, and they love conversation and they love engaging and being in the drama, and they like the gossip. And but the Geminis I've known and I've observed are very quiet, and they're very like, they could be very moody and like just kind of like, I don't feel like talking today, so I'm not gonna talk, and respect that, you know? And one thing I've noticed about Geminis is that if they don't want to talk, they ain't gonna talk, you know? If they don't want to talk, they don't want to socialize, they're not gonna talk. Typically, they're ruled by Mercury, so they can be very social. They're very good at communicating when they feel like it. I've noticed when Geminis feel like communicating, they'll communicate. But typically, they're the ones that will text you very short sentences, and you'll try to engage in conversation with them. One, if they're not interested, they won't engage. And then two, they're just not very big on talking. They're not talkers to me. They're more like, I'm in my head having the conversation with you. And you're like, gosh, Gemini, like, do you talk? And they're like, when I feel like it, you know? Or if I'm very passionate. But it's so fun watching Geminis talk about things that they're passionate in, because you see that animation come to life in their eyes, and you're just like, yo, like, you were so quiet before and now you're not. And they're just like, I'm not a quiet person, but I typically can be, because I don't always like engaging in conversation, especially conversation that I don't feel the need, that I don't feel like benefits me. And to me, this is why I don't think Geminis are very social all the time, because if they're a sign that always has to be doing something, they always have to be engaging in something that betters themselves. They always try to better themselves. And so when they're trying to engage, I mean, when people want them to engage and it's not the conversation they want to engage in, people get frustrated. They're like, Gemini, like, what the hell? Like, and they're like, I'm sorry, this doesn't stimulate me. This doesn't help me. How is us gossiping like this helping? Like I said, there can be Geminis that gossip, for sure. But the Geminis I've met don't engage in gossip. They're like, I don't have time for it. Like, I gotta keep moving. I gotta keep doing what I'm good at, which is my craft. And if you notice, a lot of Geminis and Sagittarians get along very well because they do the same thing. Sagittarius is typically, they can be very gossipy and they can engage in gossip and be all excited about it. But a lot of Saggies I've met are just like, I don't have time to engage in gossip. What does that do for me? You know, so I admire that about them. Now, I've only dated one Gemini in my life, and that was very interesting. It was a very unstable Gemini, and if you date an unstable Gemini, they're just very flip-floppy, and they're very like, oh, today I feel like being this way, and they can quite flip on you very easily, and you're just like, yo, Gemini, weren't you like this one minute? Now you're like this, and they're like, yeah, because they own it. And they're like, yeah, I'm like this today, and I'm gonna own it, and whatever, you know, it's me. But typically, I find that Geminis typically are the life of the party. Everyone loves being around them. They love engaging with them. They love talking to them. They love learning from them. And it was fun watching a Gemini guy I dated be the life of the party, especially Gemini risings. So, one more thing I want to touch on is when they're angry. Geminis typically are the people that don't like to hold grudges, but they typically hold grudges. But it depends really on what it is. But one thing I feel like they cannot stand is when someone tries to show them up in something that they know. Ooh, that fucking pisses them off, because they're one that they have the silver tongue, and they will embarrass your ass in front of people and school you if you piss them off. But they typically don't like going there. They will hold it back. But if you piss them off, they're like, okay, now I'm gonna if you try to embarrass them and school them in front of people when they know damn well this Gemini knows that they know what they know about this topic, you know? So then they're like, now I have to school your ass because you tried to show me up, and I don't really appreciate that. So now I'm going to figure out what I need to do to embarrass you. Here we go. And then typically they embarrass you. And it's so fun. So that was my video on Geminis. I admire their strength. I admire their craft and whatever they do. They really work to make it very well and make it very perfectionistic like a Virgo. And typically they're very good at what they do, and they're very good at socializing if they feel like it. They can be very moody, yes, but typically they are the life of the party, like, like Libras can be. They're very much the life of the party, and you never know what you're going to get with the Gemini. They're so funny. They're very witty in their head. I didn't say this. They're very witty in their mind. They have quick comebacks. They're very good at comebacks. They're so quick at comebacks, and they challenge you even more, and they're just like, "Oh, is that all you got?" Like, they come at you so fucking fast with their words, and you're just like, "Slow down, Gemini. I can't even process." And once you get them talking and joking with you, and they open up, you start seeing that like witty sense of humor, and you just laugh. And Capricorn, I as a Capricorn appreciate Gemini's witty banter because it challenges me to come back with the witty comebacks. And once I get comfortable with my Mercury and Sagittarius, I'm like, you know what is fucking on? Let's go. And they're like, okay, like, you down? I'm like, yeah, fuck, I'm down. Like, let's do it. So it challenges me. I love it. So what do you guys think? Like, if you're a Gemini, school me. What's up? Like, what's good, Gemini? Like, let me know. So let me know in the comments below how you guys are and what you appreciate being a Gemini. Let me know. What do you appreciate about being a Gemini? School us in the comments. And I hope you guys enjoyed my video. This was Sade's Tarot Tea, and this was the video on Gemini. Bye, guys.